smoking.
So how about the Rams? Can we talk about the Rams? I'll tell you what,
about being smoked.
That quarterback was smoking.
Oh, yeah. Williams?
Yeah. What do you think of his performance, DC, Saturday night?
I hate losing any time. I don't care if it's preseason or not. Even though the preseason doesn't matter, and it really, truly doesn't. A lot of teams in the past have done poorly in preseason and turn around and play great during the regular season.
You never want to lose.
You still don't want to lose.
You're not playing,
and Tennessee's not real good.
You're not playing your key folks, so...
Well, but you got to look at how starters...
Kurt Warner played for a blink of an eye.
But that's the thing. Anybody will tell you, you got to look at how starters did against starters. They all play their starters usually in the first quarter. Mm-hmm. Mike Martz is famous for playing them sometimes through the first half of preseason games. How long did Kurt play the other night?
He tossed one out and sat down.
That's it. Yeah.
And that was incomplete.
They're not going to risk getting anybody hurt.
One pass and that was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe Martz has changed his attitude then, because he used to be the guy that would leave him in.
Did you see that backup quarterback?
For a long time.
Oh, yeah. He was good. And you know who else I was impressed with is that new Gordon guy. I think he's a running back or a wide receiver.
Flash, I think.
Oh, yeah. My gosh. He was incredible.
Flash Gordon.
My goodness.
Yeah. What is he? He's a running back.
He's a running back, I believe. Yeah.
I didn't see him. I was too distracted by the fact that Ken Wilson was actually doing the game.
I know. Yeah.
I was too, and it sounded weird. I mean, it really sounded odd.
You were imitating him earlier, Steve, and it wasn't that it was a good imitation or anything, but you made a point, though, about something that Ken would say. I guess Ken, how old is Ken, you figure now? What is he, probably?
70, 80.
No, he's not.
I guess there's a certain point, though. There is a certain point where announcers reach an age where they begin to say things. And they refer.
I love Ken Wilson.
But they, no.
I just kept waiting for, a pronger to skate out.
It was weird, but you were making a
point. The towel guy.
You were making a point off the air earlier that he referred to all of the players
as the young man from Poughkeepsie.
And that's a fine young man from Poughkeepsie. Everybody was a young kid, young man, that sort of thing.
Relative to Ken, they were.
But when you say it, doesn't it make you sound older?
Oh, yeah.
When you say it over and over again, look at that young kid from Poughkeepsie throw. I mean, doesn't it make you sound like, thanks, Grandpa, for the...
But what more could he say? He really doesn't know a lot about football, does he?
Well, the question then I think we all should ask is how he got the gig.
That's a good question.
Was no one else available?
There were so many great people available.
I think the availability was rather slim. I think that, a lot of people were already under contract. And I thought he did an exceptional job. I think Jackie helped him out a little bit.
Abdul again.
My wife was agitated at Jackie Slater because he kept saying Grant Windstrom.
Well,
How could he not know?
I think
that it's Windstrom,
frankly. Look, I couldn't do half the job they did, but you didn't hear me in there trying either.
That young man from Poughkeepsie, Grant Windstrom.
They both sounded like they broke into the booth, tied up the real announcers, and took over the microphone.
Now, I didn't think it was good.
I thought it was hideous.
I thought it was terrible. But the two guys the guys that did it last year were a lot better. What happened to them? Why fire them?
I think they're already under contract somewhere else.
Somewhere else?
Honestly, I do.
The game was on Fox 2. Why couldn't the Fox 2 sports guys do it?
Yeah, I would have rather...
Marty Kilcoyne could have done a better job.
Yeah, and in fact, I thought that's what they did in past years, like Pete Peterson would do.
I mean, Ken, bless his heart, I love him with the hockey. Love him with the hockey, but he said himself, or he did say exactly, but he implied it'd been a long time since he'd done a football game.
Yeah.
Right. How did he
get
the job?
When somebody's so known for another sport, it does...
It's like when Mike Bush at Channel 5 decides he wants to read the news. It's just not right, and it will never be right.
Ouch.
You've seen it.
I have seen it. It looks very awkward.
Adjust your set and say, you're in the wrong chair, and it's just stupid.
It's like Daddy left the house. And Junior's playing.
It's crazy.
It's odd.
Well, and speaking of Bush, they had Bush trying to do Rams radio a couple of years back, and that tanked, and he stopped doing that as well. But I think they chose Wilson just out of the familiarity because, bringing in someone that you had never heard of before, and some of these other people, like Martin Kilcoyne, as great as he is, I'm not sure if he's ever done play-by-play for anything before.
I don't know. How long since Ken had done a football game?
Ooh. Decades.
I've never heard him do one as long as we've lived here.
I'm not saying, look, I don't think it was bad. His part, it was just odd because he is so associated with hockey. For me,
it was distracting.
It was distracting because I'm like, wait, that's the hockey guy.
I was paying more attention.
I can't fool me.
That's what he was saying, about Grant Windstrom.
And we know
Jackie Slater.
Yeah, Jackie kept messing up Grant's name.
And we know Ken is the hockey guy, but he's also the baseball voice for the Anaheim Angels out in California. And so, but football, I've never known him to do any football like on a regular basis for any pro team.
I came in on the game a little late and flipped it on, and for a second I didn't know who it was, and it was making me crazy because I'm like, wait a minute, I know. Surely not.
Yeah, the voice.
Yeah, it was.
So is he doing every preseason game? They locked him down?
He's back next time.
All preseason games?
I guess they could have called Dennis Miller here. He's looking for a gig.
I guess.
Listen to him pontificate for 45 minutes.
It could have been worse, but I can just think, so many people.
Well, I will say this. It was better than the non-understandable waiter that Steve and I had down in New Orleans.
Bless his heart.
Have you ever...
I was convinced there was a camera hidden somewhere, and we were going to show up on one of them TV shows, Spy TV or something.
It was difficult to order because you weren't quite sure exactly what you were getting. Because he would come over and he would want to tell you about the specials, which all waiters do.
Right. It would be like hiring somebody with a really bad speech impediment to do telemarketing.
Yeah.
Through no fault of their own.
Bless his heart.
There are just some things that would prevent you from doing. And bless his heart, because he seemed to be a sweet guy, and he was trying his best, and we cooperated as much as we could, but it was hard. I had no idea what he was going to bring out.
No.
I just would shake when he would, and you didn't want to embarrass him either, and you'd ask him to repeat it. There's no way we can do it justice.
Well, see, here was the problem. There's two things. You're thinking, okay, why not just read the menu? The menu was in code. The menu would say something like this. The menu would say, the River 127 combo.
Like, what is that?
Is it a sandwich? Is it a steak? What is that? So you would say to the waiter, can you tell me what it is?
Worst speech impediment you've ever heard anyone have.
And he would respond with this. He would say, well, look, I'm Now,
this gentleman was not from a foreign land.
No.
That was not the problem.
He was as American as
Remember
anybody.
the mushroom bisque?
Oh,
At least
yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Well, I wanted to know what the soup du jour was, and he said, well, it's a nice mushroom bisque. I said, what? He said, it's a nice mushroom bisque. I said, just give me one, whatever it is. Just give me one of them.
Oh, goodness.
Number 12, number 47.
But have you ever been in that situation where somebody's doing that and you don't want to keep saying, I didn't quite get that, so you play along as if you understood what they're saying, even though you have no idea?
When he got to the salad dressing choices.
And I'm one of those, I like to hear the specials because I often order from, I hear a special and think, that sounds pretty good. Oh, Lord, God forbid we ask what the specials were.
And you know what? And again, let's bless his heart one more time.
Oh, bless his heart.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Christy. He looked like Eddie Murphy's character, Clump, in the Nutty Professor.
Oh, boy.
He did. And he had on some high water pants. We've had all that rain down in Louisiana. He was braced for another storm. And he was about that size, but he had that sweet, gentle, endearing quality. Remember Clump in that movie?
Right.
He was like a puppy dog.
Yeah, the Nutty Professor. He had that quality about him. A very likable big man.
He's like a puppy. And what I couldn't figure out about him, because to me it was almost a science mystery of sorts. He very clearly say, hey, would you guys like to have some of these?
I'm convinced we were part of a hidden camera.
Like, why can't you say that the way you just said, would you like any of it? Why suddenly? It was very, very bizarre.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We tried, and this was probably just totally stupid, to act like we understood every word.
Yeah, after a while.
He knows better. he knows, but we try. We're like, oh, yeah, that first one you mentioned.
Sounds great.
Like, we just didn't even have a problem. And he's probably thinking, they didn't get a word of this. He probably is in the back going, watching me go out here and pull one over on the idiots from the Midwest.
Now, see, I'm surprised that Anna did not go and ask for a different waiter. Seriously, because she's about service, and she likes to understand what she's ordering.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that would be rude.
She's pregnant and was real hungry. I think she was just going to eat whatever they brought her.
But, you know, it was one of those things, like Steve said, the guy was
so nice.
Sweet guy. You just, you know, he would say everything around the food was fine. Like, here's your bill was real clear. It was just the food items that there was a little problem with. So.
Oh, goodness.
He was the non-understandable waiter.
I'm quite sure you understood 20% gratuity included.
Exactly.
He understood it.
Oh, bless his heart.